It's time for John Paul, the Car Doctor, on North Shore 1049. Call today with your car questions, comments, or concerns. 1-800-370-1049. That's 1-800-370-1049. John Paul, the Car Doctor.
And good Saturday morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Car Doctor program on North Shore 1049. If you're listening on the app, if you're listening on the radio, all good things. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. If you like the program, tell your friends. If you don't like the program, don't tell anyone, I guess. Maybe still tell your friends. Who knows? Hey, with us on the phone is Ted Ryan. Ted Ryan's the automotive historian. He's got a way bigger title at Ford, but we like to call him the automotive historian for Ford Motor Company. And Ted, you guys just opened a vault of some really interesting information, right?
We did. We just launched the Ford Heritage Vault, and it proved to be too popular. It actually crashed the first day, and I just checked. It's running right now, but if it's slow, forgive us. It's the first time Ford has made its archivable assets publicly available for free download. So there's a curated collection of 3,000 pictures, every single Ford, Lincoln, or Edsel automobile, every model, every make, from 1903 till 2003. And then the real heart of the collection is 3,500 digitized downloadable brochures. It's everything from the Model T, Model A, Mustang, T-Bird. If we built it and made a brochure for it, it's on the site now.
And one of our regular listeners is the head of the Edsel Club, so I'm sure they probably have a lot, but there's probably some stuff they don't have that you have in the archive, for instance. So some really interesting stuff. And just to look back, I happened to just click on one of the brochures this morning, and it's a 1961 Lincoln Continental convertible, and what an interesting looking car with the suicide doors, and the idea that it's a giant convertible that is really just a stunning looking car, just pretty amazing car.
It's a fantastic car. That's also one of my favorite stories in the Ford Lincoln universe. Is that car is actually a rejected 1958 T-Bird. The clay for the what was going to be the 59 T-Bird, 60 T-Bird actually, was the design that turned into the 61 Continental. Robert McNamara fell in love with the look, and guess who ordered the coach doors? I'll call them what legal likes me to call them. Coach doors,
I can imagine.
The other name, but Henry Ford II's the one that demanded the coach door look because they wanted to keep the car slightly shorter. So that brochure is there along with everything else. I will ask your listeners, if you go in and it's slow, be patient with this. Our poor vendor, third-party vendor that is hosting the site, said that they, when it went live on Thursday at 9 o'clock that morning, they got more than 1 million hits within the first 15 minutes.
That's a pretty good day for a website, yeah. And some of the other stuff you said, for instance, besides the brochures, there's all kinds of pictures. How about some of this sort of one-off stuff, like maybe it's a special edition of a vehicle, or maybe a Shelby Mustang. So would people be able to find that sort of stuff in there as well?
They can find within the Mustang universe, yes, everything if it was actually produced. What we don't have in there yet, but we're going to load the site for the future, are our concept vehicles and our styling clays, when we do that, it's probably going to take down the internet again. I get a note from our CEO saying, thanks for breaking the internet, Ted, now fix it. But when we put the styling clays on there, and you can see Mustangs that never wore, or the iterations of the vehicle, or that same 61 Continental, you'll be able to trace it from its concept stage in January 1959 all the way through finished product. That's when it's really going to be amazing. But for phase one, we just really wanted to focus on the finished product and to make those available.
And the idea that also, some of this stuff that you guys designed it in such a way you can save it as a wallpaper for your computer or something too. So all of a sudden it becomes a screensaver. And I happen to be just clicking through, and again, one of the ones that caught my eye, which is I guess it's sort of the everything is old is new again. There is what I'm guessing is maybe maybe it's a 58 Ford wagon with the wood sides, but there's a camping package with it. So a tent on the roof with a ladder that goes to it, and it looks like a canoe hanging off the side of it. But all of a sudden that has become popular again. We're seeing people with all kinds of camping stuff, and just looking at everything from the Bronco 2s to there's a picture of a Bronco 2 sitting on the green of a golf course, and I'm sure people would love to have that kind of stuff. And the idea that that stuff is available on the website and where they can find it all. And again, looking at if you're somebody that's got a whether it's a '65 Mustang or Model T. The idea that you can go back and find some of these brochures is really kind of interesting. Now, I'm guessing you're not the one who dusted off all 300,000 of these pictures and brochures. Were you almost personally surprised how much stuff was still in the archives?
My team, I've got a team of 6 people, and we all worked on this for about a year and a half. I personally curated the Lincoln collection from about 1920 until 1960. But yes, it is surprising. And the brochures are where I found some real treasures. If the 1959 T-Bird brochure was just a wonder, because that was the year where you could get different colored tops, different trim, different body. So it shows these color wheels that show up to 27 different varieties that you can paint your 1959 T-Bird. And that station wagon with all the camping gear, that shot was actually done for a recreational brochure, one where we showed not only that vehicle, but then we showed, I think, a Fairlane towing a boat and all these other different ways that Ford could help you get outdoors. And so what's old is new again.
Yeah. Because
you're right. That's exactly what you would see with the Bronco crowd. Now, hopefully that Bronco sitting on the country club in Brookline green this morning. I don't want to mess up the U.S. Open with the Bronco on a green.
Well, it sounds like it'd be a good place for it. And just between you and me, and no one's really listening, were there any brochures you picked up? You're like, I kind of want to take that one home.
Well, no. I take my job too seriously to ever want to do that. But I did pick up a lot that. We already talked about the Edsel. We actually didn't have Edsel content in there until about 3 weeks ago. When I woke up one morning, I thought, oh my gosh, if we don't have the Edsel, because we were so focused on Lincoln and Ford. I was like, if we don't have Edsel, people will say we're trying to hide something. So we put Edsel in there. But we didn't have time for Mercury. So we're going to add Mercury later this year and concept vehicles later this year. And then we're going to add our historic buildings, Willow Run, the Rouge, just continue to add to the site over time.
And in some of the site, there's also a little bit of video too, right?
No, not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet?
Because we wanted everything to be downloadable, and the rights on video are problematic. Sometimes you could, you have to make sure there's no talent in them. You have to do all these other things.
Yeah,
that's how we left it all downloadable. And for your listeners out there, you can download that beauty shot of that Mustang. The only thing is there's a prohibition against using them commercially, so you can't download it and put it on a coffee cup and start selling it on Etsy. But you can sure download it, print it, and put it in your garage, or use it on the paper, or use it however you want to personally.
So if it was the Mustang Owners Club, they could put that on their newsletter.
Yeah, they can. And actually, we did early demos for the T-Bird Club and for the Lincoln Club. And the Lincoln Club is excited. They're already in there downloading every single Lincoln brochure. That's probably who killed our site. But so that they can make them available to their membership. I told them, you don't have to download them all. Just send your members to the site, and they can download the one as needed. So my dad's very excited. Dad has a 40 Continental. He immediately went in looking for the Continental brochure so he could download the Continental or the brochure for his car.
There you go. Hey, Ted, I know you're on a tight schedule this morning. You're a busy guy, but if people want to go to the site, where do they go? How do they find it?
It is FordHeritageVault.com. And once again, knock on wood, it was working when I checked it 5 minutes ago, just before it came on. But we have had some server issues. It will be stabilized by the very latest by Sunday. So have a look and enjoy the site, FordHeritageVault.com.
Well, if you run into the CEO, tell him I'm on your side. You don't have to fire you because you broke the internet.
Well, thank you for that. Those kind words, and I'll tell Jim that when I see him next time.
All right. Thanks, Ted. Thanks for taking a little time out of your Saturday. Really appreciate it.
Thank you much. Bye.
That was Ted Ryan. He's the automotive historian for Ford Motor Company. He's been on the program a couple of times, and real interesting guy. Knows a lot. The last time he was on, I think we talked with him about how the new Ford Maverick was actually cheaper than the Model T when you did kind of a side-by-side comparison. And that new Ford Maverick truck is selling extraordinarily well. And speaking of Ford, later this month, the New England Motor Press, which because of COVID, we haven't really gotten together very much. In fact, we haven't added any new members. We're just the test car inventory is down, for instance. But we are getting together at the end of the month, and finally, I'm going to have a chance to drive the new Ford Lightning pickup truck, which is kind of out and about right now, and I'm looking forward to driving that because I haven't driven it. I have seen it, but I haven't driven it, so I'm looking forward to driving that. And I've been kind of off where I was in Florida for a few months. I was sort of off the test drives for a while. I did test drive a few cars while I was in Florida from the local company that handles the test drives in Florida. But same thing, there's not a lot of inventory, and it seems like Florida is even a little harder in one way because of all the events that take place in Florida. The Miami Auto Show happens, so executives come in town, they want a car to drive, so they get something from there. The Amelia Island Concours, the whatever it was, the Formula One race. Executives come into town and they try to provide them with the latest, greatest cars, whatever they are. So it makes it a little bit harder for me, where I'm not particularly that well known in Florida, but certainly is something that we'll try to do more of, and get back on the new car test drive route here to find out what's new. Looking through the which issue is this? This is the latest. This will be the July issue of Consumer Reports. Something I talked to folks about, and one of the questions that came up was, do I need to remove personal data from my infotainment system when I trade my car in? In other words, when you sync your phone up to your infotainment system and it downloads the contacts and any other information, and yeah, you really should, because even in a rental car, if you're Bluetoothing your phone to a rental car and you want to try to get it as functional as possible, and you download that, maybe before you give the car back, you want to figure out how to get into the factory settings and do a factory reset. They'll clear the addresses from the navigation system. If you're in Disney World, who cares whether someone knows you went to a different place other than Disney World. But on the other hand, if you're home and you're trading your car in, maybe you don't really want to have the next owner of the vehicle know where you frequent, know which, where your house is and, some of the places you like to go. And that's information that can be pulled off of some of the information that's stored inside your vehicle. So something to be aware of. And one of the other questions, and we're involved in this pretty extensively now, is, can I use an electric vehicle to jumpstart my gas-powered car? And according to Consumer Reports, it's not a good idea. Electric vehicles have two batteries, the big one that provides propulsion and a smaller 12-volt battery like those in conventional cars that power various onboard systems. Only the smaller battery could theoretically be used to jumpstart a gas-powered car, but the process might be something different from what you're used to, and the electric vehicle battery might not supply enough power because it's not a cranking battery. It just sustains, some of the memory systems in the vehicle and so forth. So if you have an electric car, if you're one of the 4% or so of the people that have electric vehicles, and somebody says, hey, can you jumpstart my car? You might want to just call AAA or something instead, because you could potentially do some damage to both your car and their car. And jump starts are actually getting a little bit more complicated in a lot of cases. Some actually require you to have accessories on, some don't. So you need to be You need to be a little bit aware of all of that at the same time. So, just one of those things to be aware of. There's all kinds of Jumpstart packs now. There's the lithium ion ones. There's the lead acid ones are a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier. I think I had two of those, the bigger, heavier ones. One actually combined an air compressor, and finally the battery went dead, and it really wasn't. It worked okay as an air compressor, but didn't work that great, and I ended up, I took the battery out, recycled the battery, and threw the rest of it away because I could have probably got another lead acid battery for it, but it was big and awkward. And I have a couple of these little lithium ion ones of different manufacturers. The one from Shell Products, for instance. And I think I may have mentioned one of the perhaps big mistakes in my life when I was down in Florida. I bought a little boat. So I kept a jump pack on the boat just in case the battery went dead. And it was a new little boat when I bought it. And just as well that I did, because I'm like, well, I'll throw a few tools in, a pair of pliers, adjustable wrench, vice grips, screwdriver in a little bag, and bring the Jumpstart kit. And the brand new boat, the alternator didn't work. It didn't charge the battery. And I'm kind of looking at the battery, and when I went to the boat place, they put a new battery in it, obviously because it was a new boat, and I noticed that it didn't seem to be charging, and I actually charged the battery before I put the boat in the water, which the guy at the boat place said, "Why would you charge a brand new battery?" And I'm like, well, I'm kind of in the battery business, and I know that even though they came off the shelf and it might only have been a month old, doesn't necessarily mean it was fully charged. So I took a battery tender and left it on it overnight so it fully charged the battery, so I knew the battery was fully charged. And I noticed it wasn't charging. I brought it back and said to the guy that was there, not the place I bought it from, but the repair shop, and I said, yeah, it's not charging. And the guy says to me, I don't know. And he looks it, checks it, says, well, the battery's okay. It's 12.2 volts. And I said, yeah, but it really should be 12.6. And he goes, anything over 12 is fine. And I said, not really. It should be 12.6. I said, at 12.2, it's probably lost about 40% of its state of charge. And he looks at me and says, anything over 12 is good. So he hooks up his meter and goes, there's 800 cold cranking amps in this battery. I said, yeah, I know. I wasn't questioning the battery. I said, I'm questioning whether it's charging. And he ends up hooking up some water to the motor and starts it up and goes, it's not charging. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. And fortunately, for whatever reason, it was a blown fuse for the alternator. I'm a little concerned why it was a blown fuse for the alternator, but maybe during assembly something happened. So, but that boat I actually ordered a year ago, almost a year ago to the day, and it took till end of February to show up. During the sales tax holiday, and Biff, I think there's a sales tax holiday coming up again this year, right?
I'm not sure.
I believe.
Yeah.
And but last year during the sales tax holiday, I ordered a new refrigerator. And I think I've told the story. We moved from our little tiny house in Abington to our even tinier house, and the refrigerator in this house was at least 30 years old. And although it worked okay, it was literally starting to rust away. And so we were like, yeah, we really need a new refrigerator. So we ordered it on the sales tax holiday, and we ordered a little tiny washer machine at the same time, a little tiny, like one of those European-style washer dryers that you see in tiny houses, which this kind of is. And we got the washer machine in about a month, and they said, oh, you should get the refrigerator in, well, almost the same time. And we got a call, it's next week. And we did the next week thing until it became next month. And then in December, they said you should get it December 15th. And by then we were living here, so it wasn't an issue of having to come down and make sure we got it. And then it's like we got a phone call, you'll get it in March. So August to March is a long time. And then we said, well, we're not going to be here in March, so we canceled it. So I got a refund, canceled it. And about 10 days ago, I ordered it again. And Biff, big surprise, It went up in price.
Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah, you were shocked, right? You were shocked.
Nothing's been going up lately.
Yeah, I know, nothing at all. Gas not going up, utility bills not going up yet, but it went up in price, and I ordered it, and they said, yeah, we actually have 30 of them in stock right now. So they delivered it this morning. So it's all excitement at the Paul residence. We have 2 refrigerators in our little tiny kitchen right now, letting one get cold and the other one getting ready to move stuff around. And who knows what surprises we're going to find in the refrigerator. You never know. Look way in the back, places you haven't seen before. Hey, we need to take a break and pay some bills. If you would like to join us, our phone number is 800-370-1049, 800-370-1049. And I think maybe on the second break coming up, we're going to get my wife in here, and we have a lot of entries into the scanner raffle, and and it's interesting. I'm going to go over where the people are from when we come back, but I want to thank everyone for listening to the Car Doctor program. We have listeners from all over the country that listen online. Either Saturday or go on North Shore 104.9's webpage and maybe look at the podcast, download the podcast, or maybe they look at my podcast. They go to my podcast channel, which is the same thing. Jimmy kind of curates it and puts it up there, and then I steal it and put it on my podcast. So we have people that listen everywhere, including we have a pretty regular listener who listens from China, and he actually sent me a nice note some time back about congratulating me on all the years I've been at AAA, and we actually corresponded a little bit the other day, and he said, you need to tell people don't listen once in a while, tell them to listen all the time. And you can find out a lot of information. And one of the things he liked about the program is how I listen to the listeners when they call in. And if somebody has a request for something, we try to honor it. So we try to do all of that. So we're going to do the raffle. I'll have my wife come in. I cut all the entries up into little slips of paper last night, and I put them all in a basket. And we'll pick a lucky winner for that. And that is the from our friends at Car MD and Innova, Innova. I got to get the scan tool out. I'll tell you, it's in the closet right behind me, and I'll tell you exactly which one it is. And we're going to be giving that away. So pretty fun stuff coming up. And again, we want to talk to you at 800-370-1049, 800-370-1049. My name's John Paul. This is the Car Doctor program. You're listening on North Shore 104.9. We'll be right back.
School's out. What are you going to do for the summer?
Grampy, I'm coming to sell cars for you.
You are? You're only 17.
Yeah, I've been practicing. Listen to this. Right now at Kelly Ford in Beverly, lease a brand new 2022 Ford F-150 XL Super Cab with just $59.95 cash or trade down, plus their normally startup cost for only $469 a month during our summer sales event.
Wow, you really know your stuff.
Am I hired? Because I'm saving up for college.
You're hired. Go to kellyauto.com for all the easy lease details. Hey, how's that for making it easy?
When the first kiss comes at the last second, when the girl least likely meets the prince most charming, when a chance meeting becomes the chance of a lifetime, dreams will come true at North Shore Music Theater when Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella delights audiences of all ages with its surprisingly contemporary take on the classic tale.
It's possible.
Dazzled by this magical production featuring all the moments you love. The pumpkin, the glass slipper, jaw-dropping transformations, and the masked ball, plus some surprising new twists.
I have found him. I have found him.
Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, featuring Jujubee from RuPaul's Drag Race, is live on stage at Bill Haney's North Shore Music Theater from July 12th through July 24th only. Get your tickets today at nsmt.org. Sponsored by Abiomed.
AAA is with you at every moment in your life. We have 24/7 roadside assistance, which covers you in any car you're driving or riding in, even a rental or your friend's wheels. We have great member rates on home and auto insurance, savings on travel, hotels, and rental cars, and discounts on hundreds of your favorite brands. You're covered on and off the road. Learn more at AAA.com/join. That's AAA.com/join. Lion Wah Auto Group's BMW dealership on Route 114 in Peabody has an amazing offer to service your vehicle. In addition to a complimentary multi-point inspection, they're offering $75 off any service of $300 or more. That's $75 off. Some exclusions apply. Get your car ready for your summertime fun and protect your investment with regular maintenance. See dealer for details or visit BMWPeabody.com. That's BMWPeabody.com.
Win free gas on North Shore 104.9 FM just by listening to your favorite local radio station. Each weekday, listen between 7 and 7 for the North Shore 104.9 FM free gas sounder.
Fill her up.
Be the 9th caller at 1-800-370-1049 and win a $100 free gas card from North Shore 104.9 FM. Just listen for the free gas sounder and be the 9th caller. Visit NorthShore1049.com for complete contest rules.
Welcome back to the Car Doctor program, and Biff and I were talking off the air, and one of the things we always talk about is how maybe I don't always make the best decisions in my life, and maybe Biff's like, you have a boat, huh? Yeah. I did change the oil on it before I left for Florida, though. It's sitting there all ready to go for next season, whatever next season's going to be, provided it doesn't blow away in a hurricane, because it is hurricane season. So, it is a tin shack that I live in. So it's a tin shack with a boat on one side and a Volkswagen convertible on the other side. And, it's, hopefully it doesn't blow away. That's the plan. I wonder if the boat and the car are insured. Maybe if they both hit the house, so the house will be insured.
Could be a trifecta for you.
Could be. Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, let's talk to our buddy Robert from Tingsboro. Robert.
Good morning, John. Welcome back to New England, if I haven't done so in the past.
I've been here for a little bit now, so not that, but it's, I want to thank the folks at the radio station for making it easy for me to be, it used to be back in the olden days, if I was out doing a remote broadcast any place other than the radio station, sometimes I'd have this guy by the name of John Mulaney show up, and he showed up with something that looked like a TV news truck, and he would beam a signal to the Prudential Tower, and then somehow we would get magically on the air. And then it became a little bit simpler with these with this equipment that you would plug into a phone line. But the first set of equipment, you needed 4 phone lines. So you go into a commercial business and you'd unplug every phone in the building and plug it all in. Then it became one you could do with a single phone line. And then it became with a computer. So everything got smaller and smaller. But now I have basically a fancy microphone plugged into a fancy adapter that goes to an iPad, and it all goes over the internet. So I can basically, put everything I need to do the radio program in a manila envelope almost, and be mobile. So I thank the radio station every time I get the chance that, I can do it from, Florida, and doesn't sound a whole lot different from Florida than it does from Cape Cod than it does when I'm in the studio with Biff. So it works out good, and at $5 a gallon gas, not having to drive to the radio station is pretty nice as well. Yeah.
My question was, hello.
I'm here.
Okay, I went blank. On properly balanced tires, how long should they go before you need to rebalance them? In mileage.
It can vary depending on what happens to the tire. For instance, if you have a car that the shock absorbers are worn, and what happens is you hit a bump and the tire starts to scuff a little bit and maybe starts to scallop a little bit. That original tire that was balanced when the tires were, almost perfectly round and the wheels are almost perfectly round, now they're going to be a little bit off. The other thing that can happen is maybe you rotated your tires and you moved them from front to back or crisscrossed them. I mean, the preferred rotation method now is, take the left front and put it on the right rear and the right front and put it on the left rear, and take the two rear tires and put them straight up to the front, so you're kind of Xing the tires every other time. And what can happen is you might get a little bit of rust behind the wheel, and it doesn't sit flat on the hub, and all of a sudden it feels like it's out of balance. And the tire might be balanced, but but it's not spinning as true as it should be, so you got to take it off and take a look at it. The other thing that can throw a tire out of balance, and someone just reminded me of this the other day, if you go and you filled a tire up and someone didn't drain their air compressor regularly, all of a sudden now you put a couple ounces of water inside that tire, it's going to be, one day it's going to feel like it's balanced, one day it's going to go out of balance. So, I mean, my own personal car, it is, a 2018? The tires have been on there. I mean, they came on there brand new. It's still running nice and smooth, but also the tires, because they're getting on 4 years old now, starting to show a little bit of signs of kind of not alignment wear, but just a little bit of signs of uneven wear. And I'm sure that if the right thing to do at this time would be to try to rotate them again and rebalance them and see how they're going to do. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But so, I mean, in theory, you should be able to balance a tire and it should last for the life of the tire. But it doesn't always work that way. Because,
right, I don't have that luck.
Yeah.
The reason I asked, I just had them rebalanced. Rotated. It was new, I had the package, so it's 7,500 miles. And I asked them, I said, okay, when you do that, would you just check the balance as is? And the guy says, well, how many miles? I said, 7,500. He said, they don't need to be rebalanced. I said, well, I'd like you to check them anyways. And the technician did. He checked all four of them. 3 out of the 4, they rebalanced. One of them, they actually broke down and did like a 180 or a 90 degree.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good tire store. Who did this?
That was Sullivan Tire. They were Michelin tires. I questioned one of the tires. I said, there's an awful lot of weight. That's the one I really want you to check. And that's the one he broke down and did a rotation. Their road balancing machine told them where to put it. And it wasn't that it was real bad driving. Some roads were a little rougher than others. The tires are 33 inches and they're all-terrain. But anyways, they did them.
No, the idea that someone actually took the effort and broke down the tire and matched the high spot of the tire with the low spot of the wheel, you don't get that very often. That shows they're trying to do the best job they can.
Yeah, they've done that for me once before on some original tires. But, like I said, the technician, he came out and asked me all kinds of questions, want to know. I told him I was trying to be coy, and, it's not really rough, but, it was at times. So it's much better now, and it wasn't really that bad. Yeah. No. So like I said, generally you could say the life of the tire, but things change and things can move around, and it's almost like the same thing. How often should you get your wheels aligned? You can kind of do it as a preventative thing. Do it every once in a while just to make sure everything's good. Then on the other hand, you can do it never. And take your chance. Hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Yeah,
I do it once a year. Have them check it.
That is always a good idea to do it once a year. I used to always say the best time to do it is after they fill the potholes in, because you might as well get you. But now pothole season seems to run from January to December.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And quickly before I let you go, I did dial up that Ford Vault Heritage. I'm going to check that out after your program is over.
Yeah. No, I was looking at. I looked at it this morning. It must have been. It didn't crash the website when I looked at it. But just some of the brochures you can download, and looking at some of the brochures from. I kind of like the ones from the 50s, and a little bit of the kind of the madman kind of look. I don't know whether they could actually get away with brochures like they had in the even as straight laced as Ford is.
Being
a little bit sexist maybe, but really interesting stuff to look at. So always kind of fun.
And I do have some from 60 on up to about 2018 when they stopped printing a lot of the deal.
Yeah, no, it's that's one of those things. Brochures like that. Those are some of the things that they're fun to collect because they don't take up a ton of room.
Yeah.
Or take a ton of money. So, good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, thanks for calling in as always.
Same here. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Why don't we take another break? We got Paul on hold and Mike on hold. If you would like to join us, our phone number is 800-370-1049, 800-370-1049. We'll be right back.
Let's go riding, cruising down the open road. Top down, listen to the radio. Big old Buick and a big old sky, wheels on fire, and I tell you why. I got a hot rod car.
Buying a used car can be frustrating. Where do you go? Who do you trust? And who has the best price? We understand your concerns and anxiety at Micho Mitsubishi in Danvers. We have used vehicles in stock, fully reconditioned with a warranty. We're a family-run dealership with 10 service bays.
Dad, what does that mean?
That means you can buy a used vehicle with confidence, and we back it with a warranty. If you don't like the vehicle, bring it back within 30 days. We'll exchange it for another one of equal value. Everyone has their favorite breakfast spot. We want to be your favorite used car spot. We guarantee the best price, guarantee our vehicles are serviced, and we give you a warranty. We take care of our veterans, our local community, and we'll take care of you. My name's Kevin Micho. I guarantee it.
We are your feel-good dealer. Micho Mitsubishi. M-I-C-H-A-U-T. Micho Mitsubishi. M-I-C-H-A-U-T.
Get rewarded for your summer spending with a Visa Rewards credit card from Luso Credit Union. Take advantage of their great Visa Rewards credit card benefits, including rates as low as 7.99% APR. You choose rewards on all purchases and no annual or balance transfer fees. Cards are instantly issued so that you can apply and get your card in the same day. Don't wait, apply today. To learn more and apply, visit www.luso-american.com. Luso Credit Union, the best place to bank. Luso Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA and insured by MSIC. Equal opportunity and equal housing lender. Subject to credit approval. Membership eligibility required. Contact Luso Credit Union for details.
It's time to raise your golf game, and Sun and Air Golf on Conant Street in Danvers is the place to go. From the award-winning driving range to the 3-hole loop, private lessons for any level, clinics, and their famous demo days. Spending time at Sun and Air is an investment in your game. At the Pro Shop, you'll find names you love: Ping, Titleist, Callaway, and more, along with custom fitting and great advice. A gift card to Sun and Air makes a perfect Father's Day gift, too. Get all the details at sunairgolf.com. Raise your game at Sun and Air Golf.
Drive into any of Lionwa Auto Group's 8 local dealerships to get your vehicle ready for all its summertime adventures. Lionwa dealerships offer a complimentary multi-point inspection to give you and your family great peace of mind for the summer months. Routine maintenance on your vehicle gets the most out of your investment and ensures it will perform at its best. Make sure your vehicle is up to the task before vacation travel happens. For dealership hours and locations, visit lionwa.com. That's lionwa.com.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Rosenthal with you on this Saturday. Here is your North Shore 1049 forecast surfing the North Shore, the Merrimack Valley. Lots of clouds today, a little sun, windy, cool. There could be a couple of afternoon showers. Temps only 65 to 70. Lots of clouds, windy, cool overnight, maybe a few showers, low 50s. Tomorrow, lots of clouds, windy and cool in the 60s. Could be a little peekaboo sun. There could be an afternoon shower as well. And finally on Monday, sun, fewer clouds, lighter winds, warmer temperatures, about 75. Forecast being brought to you by the Berry Tavern in Danvers. The Berry Tavern is open every day for lunch and dinner. The Berry Tavern offers takeout, ordering, curbside pickup, and delivery through local delivery companies. Call 978-777-BERRY for local North Shore 1049. I'm Mark Rosenthal.
Welcome back to the Car Doctor program on North Shore 1049. And I guess I've been teasing this, and I guess I'm going to tease it. Is that the right broadcast terminology? Teasing.
That is correct.
Giveaway.
That is correct.
Yeah. From the Innova Scan Tool people, actually it's through CarMD, which is which we talked to them a few weeks ago, and they're the ones who offered off from their sister company Innova, and it's called the Car Scan Inspector. And it's model number 5310, and for instance, it does check engine light, read and clear trouble codes, emission, smog, check readiness indicators so you can tell whether your car is ready to go through a smog test, ABS brake code, clear, and so you can read and clear those. View live stream data, so it can do that. It actually is capable of doing a battery charging system test, and it actually, you crank over the engine, it looks at voltage drop, but pretty good the way it works. And then also it does airbag codes. It can read and clear airbag codes, and it also can do oil light resets. So it's a pretty fully functional tool. And what happens is their app, Repair Solutions 2, seamlessly pairs with the car scan tool and delivers kind of an automotive database. So you never have to call me, I guess. So, something like that. Let's talk to our buddy Paul in Braintree. Paul, good morning.
Dan, good morning, John. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, that's great.
It's been a good day. We had a refrigerator delivered first thing this morning. It only took 9 months to get it.
Oh, I had to buy.
Well, and I shouldn't say that. We ordered it during the sales tax holiday. We canceled it in December, and then we ordered it again a week or 10 days ago, and they said, "Oh, we can deliver it next Saturday." And sure enough, it showed up at 9:00 this morning. Two pretty burly guys picked it up off the back of and it's only a little refrigerator. It's only, it's a pretty simple little regular refrigerator. But the good news is it fit in the little tiny space under the kitchen cabinet where it was supposed to go, and it just cleared it by half an inch. So, in the words of somebody, happy wife, happy life.
And by the way, there is going to be a sales tax holiday. I heard it on the news this week somewhere.
Oh, okay.
In August, right. I think.
Yeah. So hopefully I don't have to buy a stove.
I think I need some tires, and I'm going to see if I can wait till August.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you can, and that's something that. It's a good opportunity for people. And sometimes what can happen is all you have to do is order it during the sales tax holiday. You don't have to actually deliver it as long as you pay for it. So, so if it doesn't,
always broke down the day after the sales tax holiday.
That's always the case for me. It's like, I need a new computer printer. I wish I could have bought it yesterday, but somebody I know years ago wrote a book, and it was they were a reporter, and they would always go into different places to try to get the story, and the name of the book was "You Should Have Been Here Yesterday."
Exactly. I'm calling because the guest you had, the Ford historian. I'm holding in my lap an alligator type cover of the Thunderbird from 1968.
Wow.
Thing is absolutely beautiful. My parents or mother bought a 68 T-Bird. Matter of fact, it's even designed by the salesman from a place that no longer exists, Cote Motors. She didn't buy it there.
Oh.
She bought it at Carlson Ford, which also doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The center page is absolutely, there is a four-door Thunderbird, four-door Landau, and behind it is a Learjet. This thing is in black.
Oh, I can visualize that picture. I remember seeing that picture. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, she had a two-door Landau, and that 1 year, the back seat was curved like a sofa.
Yep.
They only did that 1 year. The only problem, they spent all the money, I think, on the design, but they never used any rust proofing. Literally, the frame of the car rusted so much that the whole body started to sink on the frame.
Oh,
and she had it taken care of, as I remember, and had it patched. There are always these rust spots that developed on it over time. They don't seem to happen. I don't know whether it was the era where they just weren't paying attention to that, or they just didn't know how to prevent rust. But
yeah, I mean, it could have been, that may have been the era where they started to recycle metal and turn it into new steel again, and some of that metal, came with its own rust right from the foundry, I guess. So you never
wanted
know.
to restore it, and apparently they took it to New Hampshire, and hopefully it's still running. It was called lime green, which was, I guess, the color of that year. And it did have this alligator vinyl roof. I wonder if these things are worth anything. They're probably worth the cost of the paper they're on. But it just
it's like everything else. It's worth to the person who's looking for that.
Absolutely.
It's I'm sure they would. Years ago, I had a 66 Corvair convertible, and it was a good example of a car that looked good from 25 or 30 feet away. And when you got up close and you looked at it, it wasn't that great, but it ran great. It was a little 110 automatic, and it was a fun little car to drive around. The top was in good shape, and when I sold it to the guy who kept it for about 15 years. I gave him a model of the exact same car, only it wasn't a convertible, but it was the same year, and it was oddly the same color. And I said to him, here's the deal with the car. I said, if something happens to the car, I'm sorry, but sell the model. And he goes, that model's worth probably, $400 or $500. He said, I was trying to find one that was, online. And he said, they're really expensive. And I said, well, somebody gave it to me and I'm going to give it to you. And, if the transmission goes bad, which it shouldn't because it was rebuilt, and the engine something happens, I said, sell the model. And I think he was happier getting the model than he was buying the car. But you never know. To some people, that's worth a lot. And to the guy who gave it to me, he's like, what do I want a model of a Corvair for? Why would I want that? So you never know.
I got to put this back on my bookshelf, but
I think that's the best thing to do for it.
I think so. One kind of odd and maybe tragic part of what your guest said of Robert McNamara happened to be the head of Ford Motor Company, I guess, in 68. No, in the early 60s. This was when they developed the Lincoln Continental with the suicide coach doors.
Yeah, coach doors.
Sadly, that was the car that JFK was in.
Right.
I mean, so they all these comparisons that Truman, that Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy and all these things. But
No. In fact, a guy that I know actually has a four-door Lincoln limousine, sort of a limousine, a little extended Lincoln that belonged to Lyndon Johnson, and it was the car that he used to drive around his I don't know, for want of a better word, his ranch, I guess, his ranch car. Yeah. Hey, Paul, we got to get going. We got another break coming up.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Paul. Take care. Bye-bye. Michael from Hingham, if you're there, stay right there. We will be with you when we come back. And again, we got to draw the winner for the Innova scan tool, which we're going to be doing before the top of the hour. My name is John Paul. This is the Car Doctor program. You're listening on North Shore 104.9. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mark Rosenthal with you on this Saturday with your latest beach and boating forecast being brought to you by Arbor-Sharn Hardware. Here's what's happening for the Mariners today. Northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, gust 20 knots, gusting to 25 knots this afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet, visibility's over 5 miles. Water temps running in the 50s. We do have a high tide coming up in Gloucester Harbor this afternoon at 3:26. Weather at the beach. A lot of clouds, maybe a little peekaboo sun. It's windy and cool, maybe a sprinkle. It'll be near 70. If we're lucky, we'll have a tanning factor of a 6, but please use sunscreen. That's my beach and boating forecast. I'm Mark Rosenthal.
Father's Day is Sunday, June 19th, and if you're still looking for a gift for that special dad in your life, come on down to Arbor-Sharn Hardware. We have a huge variety of gifts he'll love, like power tools, hand tools, lawn and garden decor, grills and grilling accessories, Uni pizza ovens, outdoor furniture, and so much more.
If you're not sure what he wants, get an Arbor-Sharn Hardware gift card in any amount you choose and let him do the shopping. To all the dads out there, all of us at Arbor-Sharn Hardware in Ipswich and Beverly wish you a happy and relaxing Father's Day.
This is Nancy Gardella, Executive Director of the North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it's time to get out and support our local tourism industry and love my local Massachusetts. Dine in or take out at your favorite local restaurants. Spend some time at one-of-a-kind historic sites. Book a whale watch or harbor cruise. For more ideas, visit northofboston.org. Sponsored by the North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism.
We make it easy. That's the Kelly way.
Hey, Junior, school's out. What are you going to do for the summer?
Grampy, I'm coming to sell cars for you.
You're only 17.
I've been practicing. Listen to this. Right now at Kelly Nissan in Lidfield, Ann Woburn lease a brand new 2022 Nissan Altima 2.5S, which is $29.95 cash or trade down, plus their normal lease startup costs for only $229 a month during our summer sales event. Am I hired? Because I'm saving up for college.
You're hired. Go to kellyauto.com for all the easy lease details. Hey, how's that for making it easy?
That's the Kelly way.
AAA is with you at every moment in your life. We have 24/7 roadside assistance, which covers you in any car you're driving or riding in, even a rental or your friend's wheels. We have great member rates on home and auto insurance, savings on travel, hotels, and rental cars, and discounts on hundreds of your favorite brands. You're covered on and off the road. Learn more at AAA.com/join. That's AAA.com/join.
Let's go, boys. Ashley, how's your son enjoying baseball?
Oh, he's loving it, Robin. Hey, are you still working for Appleby and Wyman Insurance?
Yes, why?
I'm worried about my liability insurance. My son just invited the whole team over to play on our trampoline and swim in our pool.
I'd be happy to check that out for you. At Appleby and Wyman, we offer an affordable umbrella policy for extra coverage.
I'd love to grab a coffee and talk more about a new umbrella policy.
It's a date. Great job, boys.
Let the Appleby and Wyman family get the best coverage for your family. Visit ApplebyWyman.com.
And welcome back to the Car Doctor program. We've had Mike from Hingham on hold forever. Let's get to Michael first, and then my wife is shuffling the entries for the Innova scan tool. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, John. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Hey, watching my favorite financial show during the weekend, twice they mentioned that Ford's stock has been impacted by warranty claims. And I'm wondering if you know anything about that. Anything to do with the things I've been hearing about the Bronco and the Maverick? You aware of that?
I talk to the Friedman folks more about financial stuff than me because I'm really good at buying high and selling low on everything. But yeah, I think everybody looks at a reason to try to say why stock isn't doing good. Certainly, warranty claims in a lot of cases are covered by crazy insurance policies. So you wouldn't think it would really have a financial hit, but it might have a psychological hit. Do I really want to buy that Bronco when it's, when maybe there's warranty issues that are going to come up on it? And do I really want to pay $10,000 over list price for it?
Well, my question is, I've been reading that these things are having some engine problems.
Yep.
A couple of them. And, I'm wondering, is it bigger than we think it is? Not so much the finance, but I'm just wondering, is this the tip of the iceberg that we're hearing from finance people, but a bigger problem?
Not that I have heard. I have heard that for the most part, now there's been a bunch of recalls for a bunch of different reasons, but I haven't heard it's a bigger problem. I mean, you look at even the little car that I drive, the little Hyundai Santa Fe. They did a recall notice for almost every one of those that was made from 2015 to 2018 because it may catch fire while it's just sitting in the driveway because of a short of the ABS system, and it hasn't seemed to affect their value at all. So it's really, I think sometimes, and the other thing, if Ford actually does sort of spin off their electric car side and keep, gasoline on one side and electric on the other side, right now they're saying if that happens, it's gonna shoot Ford stock through the roof. So I don't know.
I hope so. I'm sitting here as a stockholder. I hope so. Hey, thanks very much, and have a great holiday weekend. Okay.
You as well, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
All right. So I promised for the last 57 minutes that we would pull the winning entry. My wife is shuffling. I stole a little basket off of somewhere, shuffling away. All right. You going to take one?
I am going to take
one. All right. She's going to take one. Let's see what it is. I tried to cut them all the same size. Phil from Swampscott, Massachusetts was the lucky winner. Phil, we'll just say Phil M. from Swampscott. Before too long, I'm going to go to the post office, and I guess I got to get an envelope to put this thing in, but I'm going to go to the post office. I'll mail it to you. I have your address, and I will also email you just a confirmation to let you know that it's coming. I'm not going to send it real fancy mail because I'm broke, and, unless, Biff, do you want to send me some money so I can send it like Federal Express or...
No, I think let's not do the fancy mail.
Yes, let's not do that.
Nah.
Don't want to do overnight delivery for like $40 or anything?
Yeah.
Now, and again, it could have been a mistake, but the people at Innova sent me 2 of these. So, and maybe one was for me to play with, and one was to give away. I don't know. But I'm going to give the second one away. Not right away. I don't know when. And maybe a good way to do it, maybe someday, if I ever actually go out and do a remote broadcast somewhere. Maybe I give it away at the broadcast even. Who knows? But I'm going to hang on to it. It's in the closet. Unlike the radio station, which has things like prize closets. I don't. I just have a closet. It has clothes in it. So we're going to give it away then. Hey, next week, that music means it's time for us to go. Time for me and Biff to go. Biff, happy Father's Day, by the way.
Well, thank you.
And to all the dads, uncles, stepdads, step-uncles, whatever it is out there, happy Father's Day to all of you, and enjoy the holiday weekend as well. If you're actually able to, if you're not working on the Monday, good for you. We look at all of this, and so happy Father's Day, and this was kind of part of our Father's Day giveaway. So, congratulations on that. Next week we will be talking to the Registrar of Motor Vehicles in Massachusetts. She's going to be calling into the program and talk about Motorcycle Safety Week. Another vehicle on the road, you need to be careful. Look twice, save a life. You've seen those signs, so you get the idea. So Motorcycle Safety Week, we're going to be talking to the Registrar of Motor Vehicles about that next week as well. Until next week, make sure you wear your seatbelt, drive safely, and be good to your car. And if you see an emergency vehicle by the side of the road, slow down or move over. It saves lives. Talk to you all next week, and happy Father's Day. Bye-bye.